Anyone who stands up is silenced. We have people being arrested for made-up charges. We have Brian Dirksen being arrested for telling a narcissistic police officer to go after themselves. It's rude, but it's not illegal. And this has been established in the courts ad nauseum at every level, from the provincial court, from the provincial Ontario courts of justice to every province court of justice, to the Supreme Court, to the federal appellate court, to common law, through and through. You can't. It's just not a thing that exists. It's a total total abuse of power, 100%. And the reason they do that is because, as you heard over the last 30 minutes, this man is a pontificator of the truth, and he's dang good at it. So what are they to do about him? Well, there's not much they can do. They've thrown everything at him. They've thrown him in jail. He beat those charges. He beat them. On May 31st, 2022, Brian Dirksen was charged with multiple criminal offenses. Those charges were stayed. The Crown admitted they could not win. So what happens? Brian continues to stand here. Brian is not shut up. Brian has been here probably just about every single day since the convoy. In fact, Brian Dirksen was parked on Bank Street in the convoy. He's a trucker, and he's from beautiful British Columbia. One of the best British Columbians, I might add. And he made a promise to the people on the streets during the convoy that he would not leave this city, that he would not leave until justice was done. And damn if he hasn't kept his promise. A round of applause, please, for Brian Dirksen, everyone. Please, let's hear it. Thank you so much, Brian, for your steadfast commitment to the justice of all people. Whether they want to hear it or not, whether they know it or not, you are here fighting for them. And I appreciate your sacrifices, the tens and tens of thousands of dollars, the year of your life, everything, the brutality that you suffered, the physical abuse, everything the state could throw at you. But in the end, they were powerless to stop you. And as they charged you 3 weeks ago again, so shall you be victorious in this court this time around. Victorious once, victorious twice, you're going to win.
Prayers for Brian.
I'd be surprised if that even made it and it wasn't thrown out before it hit the docket.
Yep.
I will be surprised. So yes, that's what's happening with Brian Dirksen. There's specific agents that the state relies on to cause trouble, to agitate. They're loose cannons, they're angry, they're narcissistic, they're obsessed with themselves, and they will lose. They lost before, they've lost every time, and they will lose this time, and they will lose greatly and mightily. They will fall flat, they will lose. They will lose, and they will lose for one simple fact, because they are wrong, because they are unlawful. You cannot, first of all, a police officer cannot be the source of a disturbance. You cannot disturb by law a police officer. That's in case law. You can look it up on Canley. It's established. It's precedence. A police officer cannot be disturbed.
That's right.
That's the precedent.
Nor can you be arrested for telling them to go F themselves. Yes, it's rude, but it's not an arrestable, indictable, or summary offense. It's just not. Now, when you come into narcissists, they take their power too far. And I'm hoping that maybe Brian considers other options just besides his innocence, and maybe he attempts to get a bit of compensation for his mistreatment.
Yeah.
Perhaps, yes.
That's why, it's not just...
Well, folks, so this all started because Paulette came through this so-called closed highway, but I don't know who here has eyeballs. How many vehicles have passed on this road in the last hour?
Hundreds.
Several vehicles, private vehicles, who have just done as they please. There's videos of people U-turning here, doing whatever they want, but then they're going to come to Paulette and give her, 20, 30, 40 tickets, whatever. It's like with Chris Guy the other night. I don't know if you've seen that. Chris Guy was parked on the side of the road when he was approached by the Toronto Police Service and given 6 or 7 Highway Traffic Act offenses. It's blatant intimidation. It's political. The point of saying that we have an impartial, neutral police force anywhere in this country is beyond laughable. It's a joke. The police are political agents. They're trying to intimidate Chris Guy. Chris Guy has been charged 20 times since 2020, at least. How many different criminal offenses? They even charged him for attempted vehicular manslaughter or something of that nature. They said that he attempted to run down an officer. Well, about a week and a half ago, that was thrown out in Ontario Superior Court. Right. Guess what? Didn't frickin' happen. It's a lie. Didn't frickin' happen. He's innocent. All charges. Acquitted of all charges. How many charges has this guy gotten for Provincial Offences Act tickets, Quarantine Act tickets, criminal charges, and just days ago again, the Toronto Police with 6 or 7 tickets for a parked car.
731.
They punish you with the process, absolutely. Brian Dirksen, Chris Sky, the name goes on and on and on and on and on. Paulette Martel, everybody. Danny Boucher, of course. Anyone who they don't agree with who comes and uses this so-called closed motorway, and anyone else gets a free ride. This precedent says too. And again, the huge rallies in Shelburne, where we have hundreds and hundreds of people coming and peacefully demonstrating every week in Shelburne, Ontario. Yesterday, the Ontario Provincial Police Force executed a bench warrant for Kelly Ann Wolfe, arresting her, charging her. Taking her away, Kelly Ann Wolfe is largely responsible for the success of the Shelburne Shelburne rallies. So Kelly had a huge hand in organizing all of those. So Kelly is now charged. And of course, they've been arrested on the long weekend, so they can't see a judge until Tuesday. The process is the punishment. That's right. They lose every case. That's right. There's not a case they've won. Where the situation, and in any case that they did win, they were able to intimidate somebody to give up. The person was not able, for one reason or the other, to actually defend themselves. In every case where the people have defended themselves, they've won because you're defended in your right to stand up and express yourselves in what you believe in. You're defended in that, totally and completely. Absolutely. Everyone who's defended themselves has been victorious. The only people who have lost were forced to do so. They weren't given fair representation. That's not democracy. That's not justice. That's coercion. Sound familiar? That's the last 3 years. Yes, that's right. Repeated in the courts. But every time that they've been able to fight or had the will to fight, they've won. Selective enforcement. Let's talk about that quickly. About 2 weeks ago in Vancouver, there was an infamous rally where a man by the name of Billboard Chris was approached by a violent crowd and eventually physically assaulted to the point of bodily harm. About 20 Vancouver police officers stood in witness of this and laughed.
Excruciating.
They laughed. And after millions and millions and literally millions of views, it was the leading news story across the world, shared by thousands of people. Finally, the Vancouver police said, we'll look into it. We need more evidence. They need more evidence. 20 of their officers were standing not 20 feet away from it and allowed this aggressive individual to enroach until they're literally physically against Billboard Chris, and then eventually proceeding to commit assault causing bodily harm and broken arm. So that's where we're at in this country. We have no justice at all. We have people coming in full black bloc, wearing concealments of their identities, coming to commit indictable and summary offenses in the public, where they're concealing their identity for nefarious purposes and being allowed to do so because the police agree with them. And then they call for punishment of our side.
But it's not.
They have never been held accountable for anything in their life. They're the most protected group of people to ever wander this country. They are more privileged than anyone in human history. They are the most privileged and protected group of anyone anywhere. They don't know what privilege is. They don't know hypocrisy. They are hypocrisy. That's right. There needs to be justice for that. And today again, another organizer of the Shelburne rally was arrested. 44-year-old by the name of
Jeremy?
Yes, exactly. Jeremy Glass, arrested this morning at his home for the crime of organizing an extremely successful rally. Now, the Ontario Provincial Police wanted you to know that what they did wasn't political. In fact, they knew what they did looked so bad and so blatant that they were obligated to write in their statement that this is not a political thing, that we believe in people's rights to expression. I don't know when the OPP joined stand-up comedy, but they're pretty good at it. They're pretty good at it. It's a joke. It's a lie. They don't believe in anything except what they're told to do. They don't believe in right to freedom of expression. And the only reason they've taken these individuals into custody is because they have the largest and most successful rally anywhere in Ontario. And they don't like that. They don't like dealing with it. They don't like seeing it. They don't like hearing it. And someone told them to put an end to it, and so they're trying to do that. To everyone who marched in Shelburne yesterday or the day before, I tell you, continue to stand your ground, represent yourself, express yourself, exercise your rights and freedoms. You have a right to do it. Don't be intimidated because Jeremy Glass was arrested. Don't be intimidated because Kellyanne was arrested. Exercise your rights. Believe in your country. Believe in yourself. You have your rights. Use them. They were given to you. They were given to you through sacrifice, through hard work, through blood, sweat, and tears. Do not surrender them to anyone or to ever. Hold on to them forever. Forever. Never yield your rights that were given to you at such a cost. In the building behind us is the Peace Tower, and in the Peace Tower there is the Hall of Remembrance. There is the Books of Remembrance, which names every single Canadian soldier who laid down their life for this country and for our fundamental freedoms that are disintegrating by the day. By the day, our rights are eroding. A right given to you as a privilege is no right at all. If the government can take it away because they don't like what you're saying, then you never had that right. But you do have that right, and it wasn't given to you by the government. It was given to you by sacrifice and the grace of God.
Right.
That's what I believe in.
That's true.
Right.
And never forget it, and never surrender those rights ever to anyone for any reason. Don't be intimidated by political goons who have lost every fought case in the courts. They have lost every fought case. They haven't won a single fought case. The only cases they won are when people receive terrible legal advice and don't actually stand up for themselves properly. They have never won an honest case in court, and they won't. Why? Because they are in the wrong. Because precedence is on our side, because the law is on our side. They are wrong. They will always be wrong. They are evil, manipulative liars, and they have nothing. Thank you.
Miss, did you want the microphone? Seriously, come on over here and tell us. Use the microphone. We want to hear from your side. We want to hear your opinion. Come and take the microphone. Stand up. Stand up. If you got something to say, come over here. Here's the microphone. Come and tell us, please. We're peaceful.
Come on.
Please, come and tell us what bothers you.
Your response to the suffering around you
We welcome
reveals your character.
any response from anybody who has the courage to stand up and be counted. Your opinion matters just as much as mine does, Miss Ma'am. Your opinion matters just as much as mine does.
What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Every day is a gift. And just near where we're sitting here, there's a building that says 338 MPs. These MPs, whichever way they became to be elected, they are to be responsible and be headships for the people of their districts. Know that in the next elections, does it matter or will it matter? With 341 seats that are supposed to have people elected to serve the people. We the people want you to be accountable. And with everything that takes place today, know that the people are watching from around the world. Those that are here visiting this beautiful, beautiful capital from around the world, know this, that when you return home to South America, to Europe, to India, to China, to the islands, wherever it may be, you are here and now you are held accountable to awaken. Because where you go, and you have been here, what we call ground zero, where people stood at minus 35, minus 40, peacefully, fed the people, took care of each other, built relationships with the divine of the divine, brought people from all walks of life. Know this, Justin Trudeau. Know this, other headships of the different political parties. You are elected to serve the people. we will stand with you, but you must be resolved to stand for what is right. And what is right does not take a Speaker of the House to say, Mr. Speaker, may I speak, Mr. Speaker? Dialogue, communication, clarity. If it is right, it is right. And if it's wrong, it is wrong. That is it. And know that we do care and we do love. So for all those that are here by the flame and all those that walk these streets, please understand we care and we are here for each other and we're here for you. So we ask, bring peace, love, light, and unity to all worldwide, all faiths, all creeds, all educations. We are all essential. We are one family, une famille, una familia. We love you all, so please, don't be strangers. Come and meet us, and you will know that we are kind. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak. And now I pass this microphone to this most beautiful lady called Sarah.
It's so important that you don't distance yourselves from everybody. It's so important that we create a safe space here on the Hill for you to share your story and have dialogue. Dialogue is what they don't want us to have. It's what brings social distancing, masking. We just don't talk anymore. We need to talk again. Protest continuously. These are the peaceful ways here on Wellington. And preserving your morals and integrity and not swaying from them is important. So, this is your hill. This is your place. Regardless of how you feel, you are welcome to speak here with us, because whatever your cause is, without freedom, you won't fix the problem.
Yep.
And that is our common ground. Thank you.
Trudeau's gotta go. Trudeau's gotta go.
Trudeau's gotta go.
Where's he gotta go?
Who is
Anywhere.
feeling like
He's just gotta get out of Parliament.
raising their voice?
Where's he gotta go? Cuba. I prefer heads on a spike.
Yeah, Cuba sounds about right. It's like where he was born, isn't it?
If anybody wants to be angry,
I know, I'm not against
you should be angry at this government that has forced you to get injected.
All he can do is cry, but he's
Now
trying.
there's a new booster for the elders this month. April Spring Booster. They're going to go after all the elders, the baby boomers, and then next month, May, will be towards adults. Specifically, frontline workers are going to be first to get boosted to keep their job. And then they're going to go after the teenagers, and then the children, and then the babies. Though we have enough dead vaccinated, which was never a vaccine, listen, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off that there's another booster imposed on the elders. Another booster in May. If you have any anger,
That's ridiculous.
direct it towards the government who wants to
Not a single vax never been sick.
diminish your immune system by boosting you 3 times a year, every 3 months. If you're angry at us, don't be angry at us for telling you the truth. Get angry at this government that has 2 main objectives.
And what are those?
Depopulation. Number 2, to make you a walking Wi-Fi network. Eventually they won't have to boost you up with vaccines, fake vaccines. They're going to be able to boost you with the 5G. Let's focus on the truth. Stop complying. Just say no. Hey, it's enough. protesters. Don't you think?
The truth is what we want.
Who wants to speak the truth? Who wants to share? Come up and share. I'm waiting.
Is that a water?
Can you imagine the audacity of the government forcing us again to get injected with another booster? Another booster. Well, let me tell you how many people died worldwide. The number is 18 plus million dead that took the shot. I've been screaming at the top of my lungs to stop wearing masks. I've been yelling at the top of my lungs to tell you to stop shooting up like a drug addict. I've been telling you at the top of my lungs that this government doesn't care, and then, no, the residents tell me to go away because they hate truckers, they hate truth tellers, they hate freedom fighters. If you have any hate, direct it to this pedophile here in that building. Actually, he's on holiday right now laughing at us. You have any anger? Direct it to this guy that wants to legalize having sex with 8 years old. 13 wasn't enough. He wants to reduce it to 8 years old. An 8-year-old cannot consent. It's insane. You can't even take a kid to a gay bar. So why are the gay bar people coming to churches and libraries? Hey, we live in weird fucking times, people. Wake up, please. Wake up! It's your country. It's your families.
Not the asylum, no, not the asylum.
She preaches the fire. Yes.
Johnny Rome might be one of
Sometimes you gotta hear the harsh truth. Sometimes there's hard things to hear. There's a lot of truth out there that nobody wants to face. I know. It's hard. It's difficult for us all to look in the mirror and say, I've been deceived. I've been lied to, and I made the wrong decision. I made the wrong choice. I may have hurt my neighbors, and I need to change my ways. Brothers and sisters, we're with you in that process. We know that process is going to have to happen, and we're with you. We know how it works. It's hard. It's hard to face the truth. Face the truth of what has happened to us. Not just what they've done to us, but what we've done to ourselves. We've all, each one of us, got to heal from the terrible trauma that we've been through the last 3 years. And there's so many things to do. But it starts with looking in the mirror. We've all got to take responsibility. Yes. It's the only way that we're going to have justice and peace. Is that if we make it our personal business to make a future of fairness, make a future where we can heal from the terrible trauma. I'm here to tell you, my beautiful brothers and sisters, that it can be done. We can heal. We've been lied to. We've been hurt. We've been kicked. We've been stepped on. But we can stand up. We can bind our wounds. We can heal. We can move forward. And we can straighten our spines and raise our voices and build a future of fairness and freedom. You say, what kind of freedom do you want? We want to be free from the fear. We want to be free from the fear that has our whole country in that grip. That white knuckle grip of fear. Each one of us can feel it squeezing us. The fear that's run amok because of lies. The fear has been imposed upon us because of lies. They lied to us. They've lied to us about everything. They lied to us from beginning to end. And we've got to face this fact. We've been lied to, and we've been terrified. And in our terror, we behave badly. Irrationality, running across our country amok like a monster. Every one of us, afraid, irrational, and harmed.
traumatized. This is a well-known pattern. If you've been traumatized before, you know the process.
It is dumb. It is dumb.
This is all happening to us all at once, all together.
Very good for you.
The good news is that
Good for you.
your neighbor,
Good for
your
you.
brother and
Good for
sister,
you.
the person next to you, has been through it the same as you. We can all relate.
No, because you're trying to kick me
We've all
out.
been lied to. We've all been
You're in
harmed.
no position. You're in no
And so,
position.
we can work together
To do that.
to build a future, to overcome these lies.
Not yet.
We've got to put a stop to the lies. They continue. We've got to put a stop to the corruption. It continues. We've got to give ourselves a chance for justice, and that means we have to have peace. We have got to have peace. There are three elements to justice. Yes? And we've got to protect the public. This is number one. It's continuing. The lies continue right now. The war machine never stops. We've got to put a stop to this. We've got to protect the public. And then, we've got to rehabilitate these poor people that have made mistakes. There are people that made mistakes and behaved badly because of the fear they were lied to. These people, while they can be rehabilitated, these people can be welcomed back to a world of reason and compassion. The third part of the justice is punishment. And I'm afraid, my brothers and sisters, the crimes are at such a level that it is going to tax our systems to be able to punish these criminals. We're going to have to stand with firm resolve to be able to do what needs to be done in order to achieve justice, for us all to heal the millions of destroyed Canadian lives. This justice has to happen, and we're going to have to be very strong and patient while it happens. It's a huge job. No one wants to do it. No one wants to do it because we have to look in the mirror. We have the facts, and we know what's going to happen. And we know that justice is coming because it always does. We know that lies will never win because they never do. We know that peace is the only way because the path towards this idea is littered with dead people. Yes. And so peace is the only way. We will have peace. We will have justice.
We will have tents.
That's right.
We will have our victory.
Welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
No more suffering in the wind.
All right. So, people of Ottawa, first of all, we want to say Happy Easter to each and single one of you. Today is a beautiful day. God is with us. Look how beautiful it is. We couldn't ask for a better day. We didn't ask for a better time to fight as a Canadian to do the right thing. By not standing up, you're stepping on your own rights. You're stepping on your own.
Is this the hot box?
Yeah.
The room for three? Or?
Yeah.
And the end, I'm sorry to say, are not complying with this. I won't be